Good morning, students. Hope you are fine. And let us move to our class. So the previous sessions we discussed regarding this classification of animal tissue. So animal tissue is classified as 4 types: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, as well as neural tissue, right? And in that epithelial tissue classification we have completed in the previous sessions, right? And today's session we are supposed to discuss regarding the next animal tissue, its connective tissue, right? So today we are discussing the connective tissue. The connective tissue is mainly classified as 3 types, that is loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, as well as specialized connective tissue. Fine. So in these 3, today we are supposed to discuss the first 2 connective tissues, that is loose connective tissue as well as dense connective tissue. Clear? Okay. So first of all we can see what is connective tissue, right? So the word even is given as connective tissue, means it is connecting the organs, right? Okay. So let us see what is where from this connective tissue is derived, okay, or produced. So connective tissue developed from mesoderm. So do you remember the mesoderm? So embryo consists of 3 layers: ectoderm, endoderm, as well as mesoderm, right? So from this mesodermal layer only this connective tissue is to develop, right? And it is widely distributed in the body. So why it is said as widely distributed? Because if you take simple example, throughout the body is covered with the skin, right? And the skin is connected to the next region, muscle, right? So since it is a connective tissue, as we said, it is connecting the 2 organs, right? So skin is connected to the muscle, so it is everywhere. Skin is everywhere present, muscle is present in everywhere. That's why we can say it is widely distributed in the body, right? Okay. And let us see what is its functions, right? So that is its binding. As we said already, skin is there, it is binding the organ, right? So skin is connected to the muscle with the connective tissues. So it is binding the organs. And of course it is giving support to the body. And it is giving protection to the body. Then it is act as a insulation. Means insulation means it do not transfer the heat. That process we can say as insulation, right? Then transportation. Okay, so transporting the substances from in and out of the body, right? So these are all the functions is carried out by the connective tissue. So it's one of the question we asked in the assignment region. There is and mention these functions of this connective tissue, right? So this you can note down when you learn, right? Okay. Okay. So this connective tissue also further classified as many types. Okay. And let us see the overall view regarding this classification of this connective tissue. Clear? Okay. So the connective tissue is mainly classified as 2. The one is this proper, another one is specialized. Okay. So proper connective tissue as well as specialized connective tissue. Okay. Then this proper connective tissue only further classified as loose connective tissue as well as dense connective tissue. Okay. Then this loose connective tissue is further classified as areola, adipose, reticular. Areolar loose connective tissue, adipose loose connective tissue, as well as reticular loose connective tissue. Fine. Okay. And the second one is dense connective tissue. So this also further classified as three types, namely regular dense connective tissue, irregular dense connective tissue, as well as elastic dense connective tissue. Okay. Then the specialized connective tissue is further classified as bone, blood, as well as cartilage. So this specialized connective tissue we are going to discuss in the next session. Fine. And today we are going to discuss about this proper connective tissue such as loose as well as dense. Is it clear? Okay. So let us see this components of this connective tissue first of all. Then only when we see the classification you can get the points. Okay. So listen. So what are the components is present in this connective tissue? As we said, connective tissue is connecting the regions, right? Two regions. Okay. Then what are the substances or components will be present in this connective tissue, right? So the first one is ground substance. Second one cells. The third one fiber, right? Okay. So look at the picture which is given below. Ground substances means, for example, if you take one cell, the cell consists of plasma, right? And the plasma consists of the nucleus as well as this cellular organelles. Then we can say it consists of this endoplasmic reticulum as a fibers, right? As like same here also this connective tissue consists of ground substance. It will be as a fluid, right? Or semi-fluid. Semi-fluid means what do you mean? It will be like a jelly substance. Okay. Then in that cells will be there, right? So in the ground substance cells will be there. Is it clear? Okay. Then again it consists of some fibers. Okay. So can you watch the figure? The blue color is mentioned as a ground substance. In the ground substance only this fiber as well as cell is present. Can you watch? The fiber is noticed there and the cells also noticed there. Is it clear? Next, especially the cells here are known as a fibroblast cells. Fibroblast cells. Fine? Okay. Then one more point we can say here. This ground substance as well as this fiber we can say as a matrix. This fiber as well as ground substance we can say as an extracellular matrix. Fine. And now is it clear? So the components are ground substance, cells as well as the fibers. Fine. Then one more point I mentioned here is these fibers are three types. There is three types of fiber is there. What are the three types? The first one is collagen fiber, second one reticular fiber, and the third one elastic fiber, right? So the first one is collagen fiber, means these fibers are very thick as well as strong. The thick and strong fiber is the collagen fiber, right? And the second one is reticular fiber, also strong, but it is very thin. Collagen is thick and strong, but reticular is thin and strong. Understood? But elastic fiber is elastic in nature. It can flexible, right? It elastic in nature as well as it's a branched one. Branches will be there. Is it clear? So this is the basic for this further class. So please keep it in mind. Okay. So here also one of those questions, two questions are asked as assignments. Give the components of this connective tissue. What will be the answer? Ground substance, cells as well as fibers. Okay. Then the next question. Name the types of fibers or collagen fiber, reticular fiber as well as elastic fiber. Clear? Now we can go for the types of this connective tissue, right? So as we said, this connective tissue mainly classified as two, that is loose connective tissue as well as this dense connective tissue, right? So first of all we can see this loose connective tissue. Okay. So hope we can understand somewhat with a word which is mentioned there as loose connective tissue. Means here the fibers which is present in this connective tissue is loosely arranged. So we said three components. One is ground substance, one is cell, one is fiber, right? Here the fibers are loosely arranged. That's all. Okay, so let us see. Cells and fibers are loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground substance. Okay, is known as loose connective tissue. Okay, then and this loose connective tissue also, as we said, it is divided as three types, right? So what are the three? Areolar connective tissue, adipose loose connective tissue, as well as reticular connective tissue. Okay, so let us see one by one. So the first one is areolar connective tissue, right? And where is it present? So this connective tissue is present beneath the skin, means just below the skin it is present. Okay, then it is giving the support for this epithelium. Also already we said the skin is made up of this epithelial tissue, outer covering, right? So epithelium means covering, we said. So skin is mainly epithelial tissue, the covering. So since this areolar connective tissue is present beneath the skin, it is giving support framework for the epithelium. Is it clear? Okay, then it acts as a reservoir of water and salt for the surrounding body tissue. Okay, so in this connective tissue only, the water and the salt will be stored. It's a reservoir. That's why this is known as a tissue fluid. It is known as tissue fluid. Why areolar connective tissue is known as a tissue fluid? Because it acts as a reservoir of water and salt for the surrounding body tissue. Hence, it is known as tissue fluid. Clear? Okay. So, this is a figure for this areolar tissue. Okay. So, this areolar tissue consists of, so basically what are the components will be there in one connective tissue? As we said, one cells will be there, fibers will be there, as well as ground substance will be there. Am I right? Okay. So the figure which is displayed here, the first one is areolar tissue. Okay. So listen here. So here this ground substance is there. Okay. The fluid which is mentioned there as a ground substance. Okay. Then fiber is present. Okay. Fiber is present. So we said three types of fiber, right? Collagen fiber, reticular fiber, as well as elastic fiber. In that, areolar tissue consists of collagen fibers. Okay, then the cell, the cells, the connective tissue cells, or otherwise we can say as a fibroblast cells, right? Okay, so the cells which is marked there as a fibroblast is a cell, right? Then other than these fibroblast cells, this areolar tissue consists of two more cells. That cells are, one is macrophage, another one is mast cells. So the two cells are noticed there. One is macrophage, another one is mast cells. Is it clear? So that this is a no, diagram for this areolar tissue. Is it clear? The next one is adipose tissue. So adipose tissue means it is similar to the areolar tissue. What do you mean areolar tissue? Of course, this also present beneath the skin, and this also consists of the almost same substances. Okay, so that's why they said it is similar to areolar tissue. Okay, then the next point, it is located beneath the skin as like this areolar tissue. Fine, and it is present in the subcutaneous tissue also. So subcutaneous means just below the skin. Cutaneous means skin region only. Is it clear? Then wherever again it is present, it is surrounding these kidneys, eyeball, heart, etc. So around the kidney, around the eyeball, around the heart also this adipose tissue is present. Okay, then adipocytes, commonly known as adipose or fat cells. So these adipocyte cells, so adipose tissue consists of the cell is known as adipocytes, right? This is commonly known as adipose or it is known as fat cells. So let us see why it is known as a fat cells. So this is the figure for adipose or fat cells. Okay, so let us see why it is known as a fat cells. The figure it is displayed there. Can you notice there? Usually the cells, the center nucleus will be there and surrounding the nucleus cellular organelles will be there, right? But can you notice here? Here the nucleus is in one corner. Surrounding the nucleus this cellular organelles are present and in the center fat reservoir is there. It's one of the largest vacuole. Inside this vacuole fat is stored. So it is known as a fat reservoir. Fat is stored there. Okay. How this fat is produced? When the food is digested in the digestive system, the digested food will be taken to the circulation to the cells where it is converted as energy, right? So actually from the glucose the energy will be produced. Okay, so this energy will be utilized by the cells for various process. Is it okay? Then if there is any excess of glucose, of course this body is utilizing the glucose. From the glucose energy is produced. Okay, but if there is any excess of glucose, it will be converted as a glycogen or fat and it will be stored in these cells. Okay, so whenever the body is required this energy or whenever the body is running out of shortage of energy, these fat will be converted as a glucose and the glucose will be converted as a energy and it will be supplied to the body for its function. Understand? So especially during fasting period the food will not be taken, the food is not supplied to the body, so the body is utilizing this stored fat, already stored fat, which will be converted as a glucose and the glucose will be converted as a energy to the body to utilize. Okay, so that is the use of this fat cells. Understand? So this is a types of these fat cells. So these fat cells also two types are there, right? So that is white fat as well as brown fat, or else we can say this as white adipose tissue and brown adipose tissue, right? Okay, so let us see the difference between these two. So the first one is white fat is storing these nutrients. Okay, okay, whenever the body require it will be converted as a energy from the white fat. But brown fat it heats this bloodstream to warm the body. So the body contains this normal temperature, right? So this warm or temperature is given by this brown fat. Okay, then this white fat contains limited mitochondria. So if you see the cells, the only limited number of mitochondria will be available in the white fat, but brown fat abundant mitochondria will be there, right? Okay, then this white fat is mostly present in abundant in adults, but in brown fat is abundant in infants. Okay, so here and in infants one process takes place because of this brown fat, that is it produces heat by non-shivering thermogenesis in neonates. Okay, so which means you know and when the body is shivering, when the body temperature reduce, the body started to shiver, right? So when shivering the body used to shake, jerk or shake. Because of this shivering process the brown fat used to produce the heat because of the shivering. But in case of this neonates or neonates in the sense infants or a child, okay, See, they don't shiver to produce this heat. Instead, since this brown fat consists of lot of mitochondria, and for neonates, this mitochondria will produce the heat because of the process of mitochondria. Without shivering, this brown fat will produce the heat. Okay, that is known as non-shivering thermogenesis. So what do you mean thermogenesis? Thermo means temperature. Genesis means production. So for infants or for neonates without shivering, because of this abundant mitochondria, this heat will be produced from brown fat for infants. Right? So this also asked as one of the question as an assignment. So you can note it down. Fine. So this is the third connective tissue. Third loose connective tissue. Fine. That is reticular connective tissue. Okay. So loose connective tissue, three types are there: areolar, adipose, as well as reticular. Okay. So this is the third loose connective tissue, that is reticular connective tissue. Okay. So this also resembles like as areolar tissue, right? Means this all the components will be there like areolar connective tissue. Then the matrix, but here the matrix is filled with fibroblast cells called reticular cells. Okay, so what do you mean matrix actually? And the ground substance as well as this fiber. Only we said it's a matrix, right? So in the matrix only cells are present, especially the cells we said as a fibroblast cells. Okay, here in the reticular connective tissue, the cells are known as a reticular cells. That's all. Okay, then it forms an internal framework called stroma. So this tissue is connective tissue is forming as a one framework, internal framework, right? So that's why this framework is known as a stroma. Okay, then this reticular connective tissue is supporting the blood cells, especially the blood cells lymphocytes. So lymphocyte is one of the WBC cells, and especially this cell is present in this organs such as lymph node, spleen, bone marrow. So this is nothing else. You may hear these words newly maybe, and these are all lymphoidal organs. It is involving in the immune function. Okay, especially these organs are involving in the immune function, and this lymphocyte cells also involving in the immune function. The body will be protected from the diseases, that only known as immune system or immune function, right? So these cells also, reticular cells also supporting for these cells for immunity. Understand? So this is a reticular connective tissue structure. So if you look at this figure there, and the reticular fiber is there, okay, and fibroblast is there, as well as lymphocyte also marked there. Understand? So it is supporting for lymphocytes. Clear? Then the next connective tissue is dense connective tissue. So loose connective tissue we have discussed so far, and we are going to see the next connective tissue, that is dense connective tissue. Okay, and what may be the difference between this loose connective tissue as well as this dense connective tissue? In the loose connective tissue, the fibers and the cells are loosely arranged, whereas in case of this loose dense connective tissue, the fibers and the cells are packed together, okay, or tightly compactly packed. Understand? Okay, and these also three types. What are the three types? Dense regular, dense irregular, as well as elastic connective tissue. Dense regular, dense irregular, as well as elastic connective tissue. Okay, so let us see one by one. First one is dense regular connective tissue. Here the point is the fibers are arranged in a regular manner. That's all. Here the fibers are arranged neatly, parallelly or regularly. That is this dense regular connective tissue. Okay. So listen. It contains especially the fiber which is present here is collagen fiber. Okay. And few elastic fiber also present. So three fibers we said already: collagen, reticular, elastic, right? So here it consists of collagen fibers as well as few elastic fiber also. Okay, and the cell types, mainly it consists of fibroblast cells. Okay, and where it is located, it is present in the tendons and ligaments. So what is tendon and ligaments? This also asked as one of the question. Please note it down. So tendon and ligaments are connective tissues. So what is this tendon? Tendons attach skeletal muscle to the bones. So skeletal muscle means the muscles which is attached to the skeletal system or bone is known as a skeletal muscles. So how it attach each other? Because of these tendons. Okay, then what do you mean then ligaments? Ligaments attach one bone to the another. So 206 bones are there in the human body, right? So each bones are attached with each other by these ligaments. So these ligaments also one of the connective tissue, right? So there is a difference between these tendons and the ligaments, and please note it down. Okay, then this connective tissue withstands great tensile stress. So when the stress is given to these muscles, it could withstand, right? So that is this functions of this tissue. This is dense regular connective tissue figure. Can you watch this collagen fibers there? It is arranged parallelly or neatly in a regular manner. That's why they said it as dense regular connective tissue. And below that it is noticed as fibroblast. Fibroblast is the cells of this one, right? The second one is dense irregular connective tissue. Means, of course, here also this fibers is present, collagen fibers, but here the arrangement is not in a regular manner. It is collapsed. Okay, let us see. So it contains bundles of the collagen fibers. Major cell type is fibroblast cells. Okay, then where is it located? It is present in the skin and it is present in the kidney, bones, cartilage, muscles, nerves, as well as the joints. So in these regions, this dense irregular connective tissue is present. Okay, and it is providing the structural strength to this. Especially it is present in this, bones and the muscles. It is giving the structural strength. Fine. So this is a figure of this dense irregular connective tissue. Can you watch this figure there? Here also collagen fiber is present as a bundles, but it is not arranged in a regular manner. Can you differentiate this regular as well as irregular? So here the fibers are collapsed, right? Fine. The third one is elastic connective tissue, right? It is a type of this dense connective tissue. The third one is elastic connective tissue. Okay. So what do you mean here? It contains high proportion of elastic fibers. So three fibers we say, don't forget: collagen, reticular, as well as elastic. So since it's an elastic connective tissue, mainly elastic fiber is present. Okay. And the special nature here it allows recoil of tissue following stretching. So after stretching, like a rubber, right? If you stretch and if you leave it again, it will recoil, right? Like here, it could stretch as well as it can recoil also, right? So that's why, especially where this expansion and the relaxation and stretching and this relaxation is needed, in most of the areas, this elastic connective tissue is located. Understand? Let us see few there. So it is found in the lungs. So when lungs is doing this respiratory process, inspiration as well as expiration. So during this process, the volume of the lung will increase and reduce. So it need one elasticity, right? So there this elastic connective tissue is present. Then large arteries. When the heart is pumping the blood is moving inside these arteries with a heavy flow, with a heavy force. So this artery also has to expand and relax, as like the heart. So it need this elastic connective tissue, right? Then ligaments of vertebral column. You know the vertebral column backbone is made up of this vertebra, right? It is a separate bones. So each bone is connected with each other with the ligaments, right? So there it consists of this connective tissue. That's why we could able to bend and stand in straight posture, right? It is flexible, right? Then walls of this bronchial tube. Bronchia means nothing else in the respiratory tract. The trachea will divide as a branch as a bronchioles. So in this last like this lungs, this bronchi also expand and recoil. So those regions it is made up of this elastic connective tissue. Clear? This is the structure of this elastic connective tissue, and can you watch this? Fibers there. It could flexible. It can elast as well as recoil. It could stretch as well as recoil also. Fine. So hope we can complete this class today's session here. And this one more connective tissue. There is a specialized connective tissue we can see in this next session. Okay. Now let us see some assignments regarding today's class. So assignments. The first question, list out the functions of connective tissue. So which is already I said when I explained this fifth slide, it is given there so that you can write it down and learn. Fine. Then name the components of connective tissue. Also it is given there as a fibroblast cells, fibers as well as a ground substance. Okay. Next one, list out the types of fiber. So this is also given in the seventh slide. And the types of fiber is collagen fiber, reticular fiber as well as elastic fiber. Okay. Then differentiate white fat and brown fat is given in the 13th slide. Please pass it and write it down. Fine. Okay. Then differentiate tendons and ligaments, which is given in the 17th slides. Okay. And give the location of elastic connective tissue, which is given in this 23rd slide. Please pass and write it down, and please learn periodically. Fine. Hope you will do it well, and watch all these videos carefully and follow it. Fine. Please be at home and pray very well. Fine. Thank you.